Thank you for joining us here on UK Theme Parks, and welcome to Alton Towers Resort. Yes, it is round 2 of Can We Get Into Alton Manor. Round 1 didn't go very well. We came just after the ride opened. We left it a week. We came, it didn't go very well. We didn't get on it. So today I'm back to try Alton Manor. Fingers crossed. I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed rather than promising it today, and I'll give you my review of it if we get on it. Now I am alone today actually. Cody's a bit under the weather and Kurt's sodded off to Florida. All right for some, isn't it? All right for some. But I'm really looking forward to having a stroll around Alton Towers and taking in what I want to take in today without the need to rush and get on hundreds and hundreds of rides. I'm not sure how busy it will be. It's not raining at the moment. No, that's a massive bonus for anyone that watched our last vlog. So yeah, join me at Alton Towers Resort while we go around and try finally to get on Alton Manor. Of course, it is the Smiler takeover, which I completely forgotten about. I can't lie to you, completely forgotten about it. And normally I would go and run to a coaster first. Last time we did actually start with the Smiler, but I will give it a ride today, probably from the single rider queue. But I'm going straight to Alton Manor. Unbelievably, I'm not wasting any time today. You can really see how many people use this path in the morning coming this way. I imagine there's a few people going over to Galactica, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm going straight to Alton Manor. Now then, I've done really well, and I've not had any spoilers, I've not looked at any videos, no pictures, no nothing. So I'm still, at the end of April, beginning of May, going into this completely blank. Which I'm really looking forward to. Have you ridden it yet? Honestly, leave your comments below. We'd love to know what you think of it. Now we are obviously down here really early, so we're not open quite yet. See, the cue board's been installed since we were last here. Yeah, not long, fingers crossed. It's all open today, and we can experience it for the first time. Right, here we go. I'm not going to get excited quite yet, because, I got this far last time. I'm not going to pick up any of the little bits and pieces from in here either. Now, you can't film on the ride on this one. I'm sure you can get away with it. They didn't really seem to care, so I won't be filming in there because it requests not to, and obviously we like to stick by the rules where we can. Nice little nods, look, a ripsaw there. Now I know a lot of people have seen this obviously as they've gone round. After 80 days, never a word. Travelling obviously all around the world. And of course, if you are queuing in this, it does plant the story as you go. You do get a little storyboard. Took a corkscrew to the face. Love it. So I didn't make it this far last time. That's a little creep, isn't it? Hard to say it's not. Right, looks positive. I will just say as well, it is only 9:45, so the ride's already open, which is fantastic, getting people on it. I might make it back for the opening of Wicker Man. Right, just trying to let you all, if you haven't seen it, kind of take it in. Oh, black hole. I missed the black hole. Comment below, did you do the black hole and the corkscrew? To the all-time classics here. I haven't seen anything about the beast actually. Maybe it's here and I've missed it. Right.
Welcome to the open house auction of Alton Manor.
Right. Here we go. Okay, that is creepy as. Time to go in. Now I'm going to digest a couple of rides on Alton Manor and probably experience it again with a quick ride on Wicker Man, which is actually only 30 minutes. Not too bad at all. I will say I'll probably echo. I know it's Smiler takeover. I still don't get it. I just don't get it. But Wicker Man, here we come. I'm just not sure. Right, Kurt absolutely hates Rita, so we tend to have to miss it. But today, unbelievably, I'm going on Rita.
You must
escape. Go, go, go!
I'll tell you, to have Wicker Man, Rita and 13 done in 90 minutes when I wasn't at the Wicker Man queue when it first opened is insane. Rita, I caught it just as it was reopening, so I managed to get straight on Rita. Coincidentally, it has now broken down again. Over to 13, which only had a 5-minute queue. It's absolutely mad. Absolutely mad, but I'll take it. I'll 100% take it. Yeah, really pleased actually. Really pleased opening time here. And it was all helped by the fact that obviously Alton Manor opened at 20 to 10. It's insane. Now, Skyride hasn't reopened yet for 2023. The cars are kind of scattered as you walk walk along the entrance area to the park if you're not on the monorail. To be fair, if you're on the monorail, you can probably see them as well. They are sort of dotted, not on the wires at the moment. However, I did notice today as we walk in, I'll try and get a shot of it when I leave, that all the new mechanisms, so it does look like it's having complete new mechanisms at the top, holding the cars to the actual cable itself, because they're all there now. They're definitely all brand new with new suspension. So I believe that is the reason why it is closed. However, for physically disabled people who can't get around the park, it's not going to be quite so easy to get around Alton Towers at the moment. It's a little bit of a pain, to be honest with you, with it closed. And also as well, the sign for Hex is still out saying that's going to be closed. I'm devastated if that's shut today. Absolutely devastated. In fact, I'm going to ride David Walliams just in case. Is that level thing to do? I'm not sure. Now I'm still deliberating. I am going to give you my review and my thoughts of Alton Manor later on. You're going to have to stay tuned, I'm afraid, because I want to ride it again and just take it in. But I have to say, first impressions, really, really good. Alright, 10 years old this year. Of course it is a festival of the Smiler. I still don't get the park takeover of it. I would like one of those stickers though, that would look quite nice at home. And there it is. Now it's currently on a 70-minute queue, I think. We'll double check. But I am kind of secretly hoping that single rider is open for this since they've removed it on quite a few. Oh, it's about to look on the keyboard there, but they're in the way. I love these optical illusions. Absolutely love them. Now, if you are coming along for Smiler Takeover, there's not long left, to be fair. It has been on a while. You can meet sort of the ministry, so there are some show times. They are walking around the park, we have seen them, and you can stamp as well, so the little kids will get a little book where they can stamp. I have no idea what they get at the end of it, to be honest with you. Absolutely no idea. But as you can imagine, the most popular ride in the park at the moment. 60 minutes. Right, I wonder how quick we can get on it. Here is the Smiler in action. Waited all of 5 minutes in the single rider queue to go on Smiler. Currently advertised at 60-minute queue. Now I know all the enthusiasts watching this will be like, yeah, well, you know, that's what we all do. However, you'd be surprised the amount of people that don't. You really will be surprised. Now here is Oblivion actually open, believe it or not. I don't know whether I'm going to go on it today. The last few times I've come, it's been shut or shut in. And I'm not too offended about the Smiler taking over here either, because it's right there. So I feel less offended by it. I'll check out the Oblivion queue time, but by the looks of down here, I think it's quite a long one at the moment. I will say the single rider is an absolute godsend over on the Smiler. That really, really was. Now, I don't have much interest, to be honest, to ride these two today. But here's another Smiler stage. You've got sort of one over there and one here, as well as all the little bits around. As you said, there are show times. There is a show shortly. I'm not really sure.
Ministry-controlled happiness. Welcome to the
So this, I believe,
of happiness stage.
it's a celebration of happiness.
Felix, elated.
Hello, you're right, everyone. Felix elated here, successfully marmalised advocate of the Smiler. How you doing? All right? You having fun? And how could you not, when the Ministry of Joy is in control?
He's
Come
not,
on, my friend, let's see you moving.
He's not going to sing, is he?
Sing along, here we go.
He is going to sing, isn't he?
So come on, let me entertain you. Oblivion gives a wave. Hey.
I'll tell you what, it's engaging.
Let me gives a wave in this queue. How we doing? All right? Beautiful. Gather
Absolutely
around,
loving it.
It's time to spread the happiness. I want to see some moves. Are you ready, my friend? Here we go. So come on, let me entertain. This is good, I like that. Yeah, keep that
Brilliant.
going. Let me entertain. Bit of an Irish jig, that one. Let
Absolutely
me
brilliant.
entertain you, beautiful. Let me enter, come on. Let me.
I tell you
How we
what,
doing over here?
it does look really
Come on,
good
join
with
the
Oblivion on the
fun.
left
Let's do it.
and Smiler going on the right.
So come on, let me
Right.
entertain you. All right, big finish exit. Here we go. Hey. All right. Come on. And the crowd went wild. I want Babaloo-Bam, I want Bamboo. Tutti Frutti or
Love
Rooty?
it.
Tutti Frutti or Rooty? Tutti Frutti? As in twisted.
They're loving
Tutti
it. I'm
Frutti
going to watch a little
or
bit more, but
Rooty?
I won't subject you
Tutti
to it.
Frutti or Rooty? That is blessed.
Is it
With more than my share of
any better from the side?
I can see you.
Bear
The
in
world
mind.
to me is a wonderful place, and the luckiest human in the human race. I got no silver and I got no gold, but I got happiness in my soul. A wise old man said to me one time, you're right, happiness is a wave, is a smile. When you go measuring my success,
I don't know what to say.
Money can happiness. Happiness. How we doing?
I just don't know what to say.
Greatest.
Now, one of the more interactive things they've put up is the Beat the Buzzer. I mean, he really made an effort there, to be fair to him. You get a chance of taking that, obviously. It's quite a classic game. Shaped really nicely, though, in the yeah, he doesn't understand it at all. Yeah. I'm not going to give it a go. There's quite a lot of people being sort of hanging around here, but that's a great little touch. It's kind of thing they should have in the queue lines, really. I'm afraid the Ministry of Happiness has killed me off. It's a very weird show. I sort of get why they're celebrating 10 years at the Smiler, but at the same time, I don't really get it. I can't lie to you. Right, a bit of a break through the garden bit as I'm going to walk over towards Forbidden Valley. I'm going to check out Nemesis. I won't be putting that in here. There will already been a update up on that one. And yeah, I'm going to hit Alton Manor again, so hold fire. Once I've been on it for a third time, I'll give you my review. Now, with the viewing platform now open, it's widely expected that Subterra isn't far away. Now, from looking around, anyone caught our update up on the viewing tower, from looking around, there is still quite a lot of work going on flooring and bits that aren't quite complete yet. Right, despite it saying there's a 20-minute queue, it does look like it's fairly empty here at Alton Manor. So I'm going to give this another couple of goes. I just want you to know in the review, I'm not going to give like a full spoiler breakdown. I'm just going to pick out my favourite scenes. I think I know what they are and just sort of highlight some of the things they've changed and, you know, some of the things that are new. But I have to say, I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm quite looking forward to this. It's a bit of a shame I don't have the boys with me, actually, because I'm in a coat because it was predicted to rain today, and now it's not predicted to rain today. Obviously now I'm here wearing a coat several hours in, and the Battle Galleon is actually looking like a lot of fun. It's got a bit of a queue going on. These are the kind of days to use it. I am sweating, absolutely sweating. Never get bored of that view though, never get bored of it. It really is so easy to forget sometimes that you're at a theme park, particularly the UK's biggest theme park here at Alton Towers, because the gardens are just magnificent. They really are magnificent. And of course, without the Skyway going across as well, the Sky Road going across, again, there's no sort of rides in the way. So I've come here for a bit of quiet to talk about Alton Manor. So yeah, finally got an Alton Manor. Now I won't lie, last time I was here I was really, really upset that it was shut. We left it a week before coming, and I know, subject to availability, etc, etc. You know, it's a 430-mile round trip for us, so I'm entitled to be a little bit disgruntled. However, never put me off, kept an open mind, didn't go back, look at any spoilers. I know there should be no POVs online, but obviously there are POVs online. So what do I think? Actually, I think it's fantastic. I think it's absolutely fantastic. We've been saying for years that Duel has needed to go. The guns just don't fit Duel. I still think they fit Tomb Blaster. How long my opinion will stay on that, I don't know. Because I think they've done a really, really good job here. Now, I'm not going to go through scene by scene because there'll be some people that haven't ridden it. However, there's probably going to be some spoilers if you haven't. So just warn you now, probably. The opening room, which they call the pre-show, I mean, if you're not queuing, you're not really going to catch all of it. But there are some new features in there, particularly around the doll's house. Lovely new graphics on there, you know, involving Emily and you know, the double stairs. It's beautiful, really, really is. And if you catch it just right as well, the room goes black out with ultraviolet, and you kind of get a grips of what the ride's going to be like. She obviously didn't like her parents, I think, is one way of looking at this. Once you're sat on the ride, you'll notice there's 3 seats in the front, 3 seats at the back, so every car can hold 6 because there are no guns in the way, which is great news. The cars just feel more open, just feel more open, to be honest, to have a look around. I really, really like it, really, really like it. It brings back sort of old vibes of Haunted House, which I was lucky enough to ride. Now, once you go in, you know, you're set straight away with projections. The projections are of, you know, Emily and her family, and the family disappearing before you sort of go deeper into the ride. Now, you'll go through parts of the house, you'll go through sort of parts of the attic, and then you go to a new doll's house. That's sort of the stretch as you go through. The first bit that really catches me is the lightning effect just before the tunnel. It kind of purple lightning effect goes right across the walls. And don't get me wrong, there's lots in between, but as I said, I'm not going to go through all of it. The purple effect goes right through the walls. I just think it looks really, really stunning leading up to the tunnel. And the tunnel, oh, it's back on form. We haven't had a good tunnel in the UK for ages, one that makes you dizzy. I can tell you now, it's one of those where I felt worse coming off that than I did coming off the Smiler. That is how good it is. Not only is the tunnel rotating well with ultraviolets and you know, new graphics, it's also got a clock at the end which revolves the kind of the counterclockwise. So yeah, really, really makes you dizzy. Really enjoyed that. When you get around the corner, you get to the mirror wall, and I love the mirror wall. First you see Emily sort of come at you, and then as you go down there's different mirrors, and it starts off with you. Obviously you see yourself in the mirror, and then the next mirror has Emily riding with you, which is really, really creepy. It's a fantastic effect. And then the next mirror has you missing and Emily riding by herself. Absolutely love it. That whole strip is brilliant. It really, really is brilliant. You then kind of head round eventually to the finale, which is the doll's house, Emily's new doll house. There are a lot of throwbacks in there that you'll spot, from Blade, Corkscrew, and in here you've got a giant duck with its eye popping out. No prizes for guessing what that's from. And right next to it is even a bear as well, which I kind of take from Toyland Tours. So yeah, it's, you know, some magnificent throwbacks in there. And I don't mind a good throwback because it doesn't detract from the ride. It kind of fits in where they've put it, which is great. Really is great. Now, there are some criticism. Although I didn't read a review of the ride beforehand, I have seen people comment. One, there's too many dead spots. I disagree, and I've said this about Wallace and Gromit as well. It's not all about you know, how many scenes there are. It's got to flow between scenes. You can't just have a long continuous you know, set of scenes where it doesn't really break anything up. There are some dark patches in there, but they are filled with audio, they're filled with voices, and I think they're fantastic. I think they work really, really well. The lighting in there is much, much better. Where they installed ultraviolets a couple of years ago, you know, it just lit up everything, absolutely everything. Not anymore. It is very much precise pinpoint. You know, it uses projections really, really well throughout the ride, from the very first sort of screen to a lock-in area to the lighting. It uses projections really, really well, and it you know, it brings the ride a little bit more up to date, to be honest with you, compared to what it was. Now, the other thing I did see is a lot of people saying they reuse a lot of props. I wouldn't say a lot at all. I think if you'd only ever ridden Jewel once, I don't think you'd recognise an awful lot in there. You are going to recognise some bits. Moving walls, for instance, you might recognise those, but I'm not convinced you would. Giant spider, 100% you would recognise the giant spider. It's still in there, and you know, it's a lovely massive animatronics, so why not, to be honest with you. I think it really becomes a little bit more apparent on the reusing of the sets, particularly as you kind of exit into what was the graveyard area. It looks very similar, very similar. There are some new effects in there, and there are some new models in there as well, but that is probably for me the most recognisable part of the ride, and I think that's right the way through, from Haunted House to Jewel to Alton Manor as well. I don't necessarily think it's just from Jewel to this, but there's a lot of variances in there, and I mean a lot of variances in there that you know, would make it for me a completely new experience. It really, really does. I love the big doll's house at the end, the giant's doll house, which you go into. There's a couple of you know, like jump scare moments in there. What would I improve? There's still a lot of, you probably remember from Jewel, sort of things coming out from the side. You know, they just sort of swing out and look at you, and you're just like, And it's still a bit of a moment. Probably could have taken them out, to be honest with you. I don't actually think they're needed. I'm not really sure who they're gonna who they're going to scare. And I think one big thing for me, and I still feel it's missing, is that killer animatronic. You know, they've gone with a lot of static models, which is fine. Some of them work really well, and again, lighting and sound really adds to those, and I mean really adds to them, particularly at the end. But I'd love to see a killer animatronic, and I know they cost a lot of money. I know when you look at like Avatar, for instance, or you look at Toy Story, and you look at some of the big animatronics. I'm not on about loads, I'm on about one single one, and this would benefit right at the end when the cars slow down before you go back in the station. There's like a silhouette of Emily at the top. A full working animatronic there would have been breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. And I just feel, I know it's a lot of outlay and I know it could be a lot of maintenance, but it sets the ride apart from, okay, we've had to retheme it because it wasn't very good, and you know, we've put a little bit of money into it, but probably not like as much as what we could have. Alton Towers hasn't had a lot of investment in the last few years, so I think they could have done it. Now I know they've got a lot of investment coming up. Nemesis, I know people are going to say, oh, well, it's already here. Well, it's not. It's a brand new coaster. It's going to be costing them 10 million plus to replace Nemesis. There's no doubt about that. And I would expect some flat rides to come in for next year as well. But yeah, one killer animatronic I would have loved. However, I happily give it a 9 out of 10. I loved it. I think the sounds are brilliant. I think the lighting's brilliant. I think the storyline is far... You didn't really know what the storyline was with Jewel, and I think this is a bit of a problem. And this is where Toon Blast improved, obviously, when it had its mini refresh a few years ago. The fact it added a storyline. The storyline immerses you in the moment, and Alton Manor definitely does that. So massive thumbs up from me. Massive thumbs up. I was a bit worried, but I'm not now. I'm not now. Highly recommend it. I have to say, I don't think they're coming back. I just don't. No announcement, no nothing. And back at the car, the end of the Alton Towers adventure, our second of the year. Yeah, to be honest, it came up to ride Alton Manor, but to be fair, I've had an amazing day at the park, really have. I'm not always renowned for giving the park credit, but an amazing day. Operations have been brilliant. I've got on loads of rides I didn't expect to get on bank holiday weekend. Really pleased, really pleased. Loved Alton Manor. As I said in a review, I won't cover it again. You know, getting on some of the roller coasters I didn't get on last time when I was here with the boys because it was too busy. Also a pleasure as well. Smiler event, I don't really get it. Sorry, I just don't get it. I don't get it. It has sort of taken over the park. Some of the things we had seen with stickers in various places have actually been removed or have peeled off already. So it's probably not as bad as what it was on opening day. But yeah, I just don't get it. I get the celebration, I just don't get the means of doing it. But no complaints for me. Fantastic day at the park. If you've checked our Nemesis update, just to add to that, the actual track underneath now is done, heading into the corkscrew area. You can see that from the monorail. Won't be long, hopefully, till the Sky Ride is open, but it is having all the wheels replaced. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a view on it because the monorail was quite busy on the way back. But yeah, you know, apart from Hex, fantastic day. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. I'd highly appreciate it, really would. Thank you for joining us here on UK Theme Parks. We'll see you next time.